give me a thumbs up whenever I'm on the screen. Okay, I got a thumbs up from the the engineer in place, the surrogate engineer over here. My name is Sam Irvin, and this is Asheville 8 Note, the show that I have different Asheville musician guests on to chat and jam on every week. We are in Asheville in Irvin Music Studio. This is episode 62, I think, so I've been doing it for over a year. But I've been in Japan for 2 weeks. I did release episodes on YouTube with Steve Okonski and Merrick Noyes for one of those. Who did the other one? I think Ryan Kajenka. Phenomenal players. Yeah, getting a nod for Ryan Kajenka over there. A nasty bass player, fellow teacher at Asheville Music School. Steve Okonski is a great jazz pianist, and Merrick Noyes makes electronic music and beats. Those were excellent interviews, great jams. Go check them out on YouTube. Smash subscribe if you want to do that. And this today's episode will also be excellent. Have Phil. All right, we'll keep it casual today. Phil, Treutel, and Reid. Is Reid short for something?
No, Reid is just Reid.
Okay, Reid Parler are coming on to jam. We'll do some funk, some metal stuff. I guess I'm probably on bass tonight. I don't know. We'll feel it out. I might play some synths. I'm feeling out how much longer I want to do this live stream. You might be watching the last one. I don't know. I'll probably get a second wind. Maybe I'll just tease each episode like that as we go on. Is this the last Asheville 8 Note? Tune in and find out. But I started doing this about a year and a half ago when we were all feeling a little bit more isolated. I wanted to build a community and meet more musicians around me in Asheville. Success. It's really nice to get to know everybody that I've had on the show. So many more musicians in the area that could come on. So I wanted to build a community. I wanted to carve out a time in my life to just be creative for creative sake and jam and have fun with friends. And I also wanted to, flex my chops of audio-visual things, trying to broadcast something, figure out the in and outs of my recording setup in my studio. I'm just pretty sophisticated. And I just wanted to get some practice running cables and doing live sound and figuring that out. And there's been plenty to learn on that front too. So hopefully I learn something every episode. Hopefully if you're watching, you learn at least one nugget to stick in your pocket and keep with you, held dearly forever. I was telling Phil last time, he was on, I copped one of his drum fills that now I have in my my tool kit. So maybe I'll squeeze him for some more fill ideas. Some drum fills. Oh my gosh, I bet you've never heard that one before. All right, so before I invite him on, I got you. I'm gonna make sure that people can hear me, which they cannot. So why are people not hearing me? Oh my God. But just to recap, I do this live stream. It's called Asheville 8 Note. I'm Sam Irvin. And I have different guests on every week, like Philip Treutel, who's going to join me right now.
We'll find out. Check. Oh.
Are we hot? We definitely got the guest
hot.
music happening. Yeah. But do we hear ourselves?
Feels very NPR. I can hear myself, yeah.
Isn't that nice? It's a step up. Nice. This is season 2. You were on before on season 1.
I was on season 1.
But we are still experiencing... Here, you know what? Actually, I'm not sure if we are. I'm going to reload the screen on YouTube.
Let's find out.
This is one reason I might quit doing this show.
I can tell some jokes. They're really bad. They're all really bad. Let me see here. I'm trying to think. I said I could tell some jokes, and then I put myself on the spot, and now every single thought in my head that I've ever had just gone.
What about I think I've got a mic over here.
Yeah,
I
there
should
it is.
really be focusing on getting this technical issue solved, but
Hey, man, we're hanging out.
what did the ninja, or what do ninjas like to drink?
What do they like to drink?
Wata.
Oh my god. I like that one. Let's see. What do you call a cow with no legs? You can't hear me over there, can you? Because you don't have headphones on. No, that's okay. What do you call a cow with no legs, Sam?
What do you call a cow with no legs?
That would be ground beef.
Oh yeah, I know, you held it down with your ground beef joke.
Just the
Okay.
ground beef joke. That's all I'm good for.
All right, we are back. My name is Sam Irvin. We are here with Asheville 8 p.m. Note. We experienced technical difficulties, as is somewhat usual on this show, but also my excuse is that I haven't been here. I was in Japan for 2 weeks. I haven't ran this contraption for a while now.
The spaceship.
This spaceship, yeah, there's so many knobs in here to keep track of. But I'm here. I'm Sam Irvin. We're in Asheville, North Carolina. That's why the show is called Asheville 8 Note, 8 parentheses PM in parentheses note.
That's very clever, because I remember the last time that I was here, it was like, there was like title with like title to come, forthcoming. There we go. That was the word I was looking for. Title forthcoming.
That's right. Yeah. I think at that point it was the weekly Wednesday Irvin Music Studio live stream.
Nice.
And it evolved from there. And you have been on the show. You were in what?
Season 1.
Season 1, we fondly referred to it as at the time. And I said, I'm going to invite everybody back when I've got everything worked out.
And look how that went.
That's right. Yeah. But we are here. We are recording.
It's happening.
Somebody helped out earlier and said there is no sound.
After
Jennifer
we figured out
Yates.
there were no sound.
So I appreciate you calling that to my attention. Hopefully that person tunes back in and did not immediately give up. And if you're watching this, I guess you've tuned in. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, Phil.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I should appreciate you for a moment.
Yeah,
too.
dude.
You're
No
a
worries.
fantastic drummer.
Oh, thank you.
Funk, metal stuff. Let's see how hard we can get
Okay.
and how funky we can get.
Okay. Your terms are acceptable.
Okay, good. I wouldn't call funk light music though.
No, not necessarily. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because I listen to like a wide array of like different types of funk music. Because like I would say Earth, Wind, and Fire is like very like funky, but also like soul-esque. But it's also
that's right.
It's also super different from like stuff like, for instance, like Fat Function, spelled PHAT PHUNCTION.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, Fat
Not-
Function.
Not
So
PHUNKTION.
it's with a C.
They really missed it.
I know. But yeah. So that's another group. I forget where they're from, but there was a brief moment there, like in undergrad, where I listened to they put out a record in like 2010, I think. That was like just so killer, so good. But yeah, very different types
Fat
of funk.
Function.
Yeah, Fat Function. Very different types of like all kinds of different like genres of music, as we were talking about metal. For those who watched my last episode, local celebrity over here, you'll know that I'm a big metalhead.
What number episode was it?
Oh God, I don't know.
You remember?
Like
It was early.
It was early on.
Yeah.
It was early days for sure. It was like probably, I think you told me it was like 12,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I did listen to it, like to make sure, like I said, that A, I wasn't wearing the same outfit that I was last time, and also B, to make sure that I don't talk about all of the exact same stuff. So like a minute ago when I was like, oh God, I've already said Earth, Wind, and Fire, talk both episodes. You can, so
It's a running gag.
I
now.
guess it's a running gag
Yeah.
now. It's a running joke.
Well, you look good. You chose a
thank you.
great outfit. Olive is a good
Yes,
color.
that's a great color. It's
Yeah.
a great time of year to be wearing olive as well.
Definitely. I'm wearing a shirt. I saw Otoboke Beaver in
what?
in
That's
Japan.
so sick.
It was awesome. Followed by La La Gaga or La La Laga.
Whoa.
So is another punk band. It was like I was in like some little tiny punk venue somewhere, like off the beaten trail. It was
That's
pretty
so
awesome.
cool. Where were you in Japan?
I was in Osaka, but a smaller town like outside called Sakai, and the Fandango was the name of the venue. And
Do you speak Japanese?
I spoke no Japanese,
Okay.
so I made my way there, and I had like bought a ticket, and I walked up to the door guy and was like, I have this ticket. And he made me wait there while I think he called in like everybody by their last name, like the letter that their last name started with, or maybe in order that they bought the tickets. But I was standing there like, am I going to get in? Am I at the right? Am I at the right show?
Am I going to
have
make
no
it
clue.
in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I did. And at some point in the second band, like each of the members of the band like crowd surfed while they were playing their instruments. That was great. I haven't seen that live before. I don't know,
Sick.
maybe ever. Maybe at Warped Tour.
Crowd surfing, man. The only time I've ever crowd surfed was at the first time I went and saw Meshuggah, which we talked about Meshuggah last episode. And I can
Meshuggah's excellent.
I can happily talk about Meshuggah again this episode.
Oh man,
the only thing that's different from last episode to this episode is that I know I talked about their most recent album on the last episode, but since that episode I have seen them live once more.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
With they were playing with Torch and Convergence.
I haven't
Converge?
heard of either of those.
Yeah. It was in Norfolk, Virginia, at the Norva, which is a really dope venue. Except they are a strictly no crowd surfing venue. So if you're listening and you're on staff at the Norva, you're taking the fun out of it.
Wait, the only place you've crowd surfed
was at the Meshuggah show that I saw the first time, which was at the Buckhead Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, and the Black Dahlia murder opened for them.
Sick. Yeah,
that was a really cool show.
And you crowd surfed and you
at that
lived
show.
to tell the tale.
Twice, no less.
That's good.
Yeah, all within a span of about 10 minutes, and it was like during the encore. So like, I got my money's worth out of it for sure.
The first time wasn't enough for you.
No, I had to go again.
Yeah,
wasn't quite satisfied. Had to go again.
Like maybe I'll break my neck this time.
Yeah. No, everybody that was there was like super cool. It's so interesting too, because like kind of talking about the metal realm of things, like it's so interesting that the different styles of like shows that you can go to. Like Meshuggah, both times that I've seen them was like very much just like the metalhead like kind of crowd, like just like a lot of push moshing. And conversely, the band that I play in now, Iron Sights, we've played on a lot of different like hardcore bills and stuff like that, and that's like it's a completely different vibe. Like even if you had like the same amount of people at the same venue on like, but for both like styles of band and metal and music, it's just like a totally different feel. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. But always super friendly guys, like metal dudes and punk people.
Generally speaking,
so yeah. I mean, there's always some
there's always the one, but yeah, the handful, But yeah, generally speaking, like that's kind of been one of my favorite things about like the whole metal scene, just like in this side, like on this part of like the East Coast. It's just everybody's just like super chill, really rad, and yeah, I mean, we did. Trying to think, we played with this band called Your Spirit Dies out of Greenville, South Carolina, not too long ago. On there, I think that was like back.
Oh, hey, our sound is working.
Our sound is working. There we go.
That's good.
Nice. Yeah, out of Greenville, South Carolina, like a couple of weeks ago.
We as in
Iron Sights, the band.
Yeah, your metal band.
The metal band. Iron Sights, the band, played a show.
Iron Sights.
Iron Sights.
Like the sight on a rifle.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's iron.
Correct.
It's not
old school.
Yeah. So it's just a sight to look down, not like a
not a scope.
No scope.
Yeah,
right.
Correct.
It's not iron scopes.
Yes, correct. Iron Sights. But yeah, we played a gig with this band. They had us on for their EP or album release show back in like February, I think, January, February, or something like that. Your Spirit Dies, and we've played with them like on multiple occasions, so we like to buddy up on bills. But those guys are super, super sweet. Like really, really dope guys for sure. Yeah.
I saw many people, different people were crowd surfing, and they'd come to like the edge of the crowd, and I would think, oh, those people are going to fall. Mm-hmm. But then some random dude out of nowhere would like run in just to throw his body at their body.
and turn them the other way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
What
it's
a nice thing to do.
It's so funny too to watch like different like crowd surfing. Like I don't want to say mechanics. I don't want to sound so academic about it, but like crowd surfing mechanics, as far as like definitely the way that like people move like as they're holding them up is kind of fun to watch. Especially like there was like Coachella was this past weekend. I don't know if you saw any of that. I definitely did not go, but I saw videos of of metal bands that were at Coachella. Namely like the big one was Knocked Loose was there, which is like I would call them a hardcore band. I guess it just depends on your semantics, but big crowd surfing,
like an HXC band.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it was kind of interesting to watch like a full big like production. Those guys like just go out there and just absolutely go crazy. Hardcore is like it's wild. I love this YouTube channel called Hate56, where like his whole like he's a videographer and like that's his whole thing is he's like an archivist. Mm-hmm. Where he goes to all of these different like hardcore shows and takes videos of the various like antics that are going on both on stage and in the crowd, and it's like he's doing some really sick work. He actually did Rage Against the Machine's tour that they did, like their reunion tour, I guess, from a couple of, I guess it was about a year ago or so, and he did all the videography work for it, and those videos were sick.
That's cool.
Yeah, so. Good stuff.
Hate56?
Hate56, yeah. He's from, I think he's from, I think it's a, like a play on words, obviously, of 85. I don't know this for a fact, but I think it's a play on words of like the area code 856, which I think he's based out of Philly, which I think is a Philly area code. But we're going to get, okay. Am I about to get fact checked?
856, let's do it.
I thought you were about to fact check me, and I was like, okay.
How do you spell Philadelphia? No, I got it.
Phil.
You would know that part.
Yeah, that's all I got. Adelphia.
The Philadelphia area code is either 267445 or 215.
Then I don't know where Hate56 came from. I completely made that up in my head, and I thought it was real.
I really wasn't going to to fact check you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm glad that I'm glad someone did.
That's something that we've learned, that our viewers may have learned already, is that Hate56 has nothing to do with the area code.
No, nothing to do with the Philadelphia area code. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's based out of Philly because I feel like he's a big Eagles fan, but I don't remember. Like I said, I just follow him on Twitter. He wouldn't know me if I passed him on the street, nor would I probably know him.
I was looking over here to do something, but now I'm totally.
We were talking about. We were talking about metal. We were talking about Hate56. We were talking about crowd surfing. Yeah, the mechanics, the physics involved in crowd surfing. I don't remember what else. Well, you were talking about your trip to Japan.
I was, but don't take me down that road because then I'll just only talk about that.
That's okay too.
Listening to music and walking around was particularly amazing, and like listening to some hardcore metal or whatever it was that came up. Oh, what metal? Like I did listen to some like Japanese metal, like Tricot is a really cool.
I've heard of Tricot.
Tricot's dope.
Yeah, they're really sick.
All female led band, all woman, and really cool math rock heavy stuff. Or Zazen Boys. I think they're boys.
That one I've never heard of. I've never heard of that one.
They're pretty heavy too. Sort of more punky metal, but
cool.
That was really cool to be listening to something so heavy and then you take off the headphones and like on a train or something and it's silence.
Oh, really?
Because everybody's very polite and
interesting.
In hushed voices.
Okay.
If any. Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, all over the place.
I've always wanted to go to Japan. Maybe one day.
It's not too late.
You're right. Yeah, there is still time. As far as I'm concerned, yeah. I would hope there's still time anyway. I'm gonna move this. I hope that's.
You don't want the armrest?
No.
Okay.
Because it's getting in my way. I feel like I keep bumping it.
I don't want that. Yeah, I want my guests to be comfortable. Is there anything else we can do for you
I'm
right
snug
now?
as a bug in a rug, my guy.
Okay, sweet.
I'm snug as a bug.
When Reid comes in, we're gonna be joined by another.
He'll be here.
Fella, Reid Parler. When he comes in, I'm going to tell him to turn down the volume on these just a hair.
Okay.
They're coming in red hot. What do you think?
I'm okay. I don't know.
Sultry tones.
I'm okay for now.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. tell me more about your metal band. That's your primary musical endeavor at the
at present moment. Yeah, at present moment. Yeah.
But
so,
you and Reid are ostensibly in a band called Shibutica.
Yes, we are.
A funk band. But let's not talk about that.
No, we can. I mean, we can touch on that when he gets here. But for now, yeah, I can talk about my metal band for sure.
Iron Scope.
Yeah. So it started, I guess, in January of 2022. This guy Reese. Actually, further backstory. My roommate at the time, named Nathan, was like really down and into like the mutual aid kind of scene here, and so they were going out to a bunch of different events, and
maybe explain that for me. Mutual aid scene?
Mutual aid is as in going out to like feed houseless people or to like do fundraising for various. Hello?
I think we've got a guest sneaking in here.
Oh, there he is.
He's just a little late because he had a gig, which I think is the best excuse to be late for
for sure.
Music-based live stream.
Well, hey, bud.
Oh, hi, Reid.
Welcome.
Welcome on.
No, it's okay. I know where I'm bookmarked.
Hold that thread. I'm going to ask you on your way over... on the headphone amp, which is like above the red, it's like the farthest thing to the right before you hit the little dresser drawer. So to the right of the mixer, okay, you see, yes, that little black box on the top left knob. Will you turn that down like a little bit? Yes. Okay, that's so good. Thank you so much. And now you can please join us.
Come on in here.
Sneak in here. We've got Reid Parler joining us on Asheville 8-Note.
All right.
Yes, there were some technical difficulties, so we're a little bit behind scheduling.
Should I just
pretty much on time. Yeah, really rub.
It's an ASMR podcast.
I'm hearing that deep in my brain. Yeah.
It's an ASMR podcast.
I'm sorry I didn't get you water. I'm a terrible host.
Okay.
Hopefully you're hydrated.
Yeah.
You can share some of mine if you really need to.
We'll get there.
Welcome on. I should have captured your entrance from all these different camera angles, but
that's okay.
We got it from that one.
There
the
we
good
go.
camera. Yeah.
The good one. Look at it.
Okay.
Look at us.
Now we're back front.
Here
Everybody can
we
address this main camera.
There we go.
Make love to the camera. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, maybe make like to it. Be friends with it.
Be friends.
Start with friendship.
You know.
Tell me a little bit about where you were, your gig, and then we'll get back to Phil's story.
Like I said, I'm
eventually.
bookmarked. Don't worry. I'm hanging out now.
Okay, good. I was at Sierra Nevada Brewing Company.
The Disney World of beer.
It truly is.
Honestly,
it's pretty insane.
it's a massive complex, dude. I always forget how big it is until I get there.
They own so much land.
It's wild. It's so crazy.
Yeah, a little southwest of here, right?
Yep, down in Mills River.
Ah, yes. And there are rivers of beer there.
Of course.
Aren't there,
So they tell me.
Fountains and
Fountains and fountains.
Anthropomorphic beers walking around.
Beers that get up and greet you when you arrive. They have beer valets.
Every table has a little refrigerator on it.
Yeah, it's
Something along those lines. Honestly, it's it's pretty crazy. You stand up and somebody's like, "Here, have this. Here's a beer."
No, take it.
And I said, "Okay, don't mind if I do."
Yeah.
And so you had a gig there. With,
I did in fact have a gig there.
with what group?
So I RP3 is what I'm going with right now.
Oh, that's right. Reid was telling me.
Yeah, I was here earlier and I was telling you about it, and then I left and I played the gig.
We were waiting for you.
I'm sorry again for being late.
It's okay.
If I say sorry again, it makes it seem like I already apologized, even though I don't believe I did.
You can apologize once more straight into camera, please.
Hey, all you faithful listeners, I'm sorry. I know you tuned in expecting to see me exactly at 8 p.m.
Just only
you set the alarm for 7:58. It's like, all right, I can get ready.
Yeah.
So once again, very, very sorry.
It is called Asheville 842 note. Or it's not
842.
called
It's
Asheville 842
very
note.
complex.
with Reid Parler
Exactly.
on episode 62. Do you remember what the last episode was that you were on?
I think it was still in the double digits. So,
So we're still-
I don't think I was in the first 10.
Right.
So
Oh, I see.
we can rule those out.
Oh, then maybe I might have been in the first 10.
Okay.
Within the
I'm
first
looking up
single digits.
when Phil is here, but
Okay, was I here before or after Phil?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think after.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like super early on because I remember talking to you
Yeah,
about the
Phil
whole thing.
Collins. You had Phil Collins on.
Yeah, that was a big get.
That was a big
I
get.
can't believe
It was
I
a big get.
got that one. Well, he's on this episode right now, 62.
There we go.
Oh,
that one
cool.
came up. Yeah.
That's nice.
17.
Oh, dang.
17.
That was a lot further
Okay.
back than I realized.
All right.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. We go way back, you guys.
It was a long time ago.
And then 24.
24.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
I completely
So-
fabricated that timeline in my head then.
That was a whole,
Sorry about that.
what, 12?
It's okay.
12?
Do you want to apologize straight into camera?
Yeah.
We can
Me?
use this
Oh,
camera,
yeah.
That one
I'm
right.
sorry for
That-
lying to you about the episode number that I was on previously. Yeah,
Good. Okay, good.
that's all.
Thanks.
This is good for if you ever get canceled. We can just have chat GPT sort of, cut that I'm
Yep.
sorry
There
into
you go.
whatever we need.
Yeah, I hope not to be canceled. I would like to not do that.
I hope neither of you guys are canceled too, because I probably wouldn't be. I'd probably take this.
Yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
It's a waste of time.
And then people will ask, where did episode 42 go?
62.
60.
It's like,
bro.
oh man, you've
Yeah.
been
So
So you're
doing
not
this.
even listening.
No, come
I'm just
on, man.
kidding.
Another apology? No. Let's talk about your trio. You are a guitarist,
I play the guitar.
and that's what you played tonight.
That is what I played tonight.
You didn't switch it up.
No, not tonight. No, so I'm doing a trio right now. So it's one of those rare, well, not the opposite of rare, all too common circumstances where you start one thing and then it's like, all right, let's book a gig, and then one person isn't available, and then so you just like, we'll just get somebody else. So I'm starting an organ trio with Taylor Pearson. Unfortunately, he was not available tonight, so I got Connor Law to fill in and play bass,
Okay.
which is a very different feel. If we want to get into the
Than an organ?
should we just jump into the minutia right now?
Please, let's get
All right,
nuanced.
let's get nuanced.
I like nuance.
So one is an instrument with 4 strings, and the other has keys on it.
And, and organs
how many
are
keys?
huge.
How many keys?
Yeah,
Reese?
that too.
Ooh, 1,
At
80, 88.
At
who
least
knows?
88. At least 10, I would say.
I hope.
Over 10, I would hope. Yeah. Organs are enormous too. They were
Nah.
initially built to like scare people into believing.
You had to get a lot of metal pipes together. You had to. That was the first thing. You're just looking for all these.
For
metal
wait, a
pipes.
bass guitar?
Yes.
No.
And then you hit somebody enough with it and say, "You're gonna play the bass. You're gonna play the bass. You're gonna play the bass." And then they do, and then you have a bass player.
It is, yeah. I'm very grateful for all of those guys beating up people to play bass, because without them, without those,
Where would we be, you know?
Citizens,
Where would we be?
Yeah. So, what is different about the feel between playing with an organist and having a bassist?
No, and I mean, the real difference is really it's the difference between having just one. Obviously, having one note, there versus having an entire bed to open up and stretch out on, which. And I kind of appreciate the challenge of the bass where you have this, need to sort of fill the space, but at the same time, you have to sort of confront, the open space that there is. Whereas, I've been in bands where there's, bass, keys, and horns, and, there's always something going on. Whereas you have to, I think in just a guitar, bass, drum situation, you have to be a lot more okay with just space.
Yeah.
Just being able to just sit in that. And I think that's something that I'm always working on, in that not playing is okay. sometimes.
Especially as a guitarist.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, don't
We're
need to
always like,
breathe.
I need to do something. And it's like, no, you can just
Yeah.
not for a little bit.
I experienced that.
and then come back in.
Yeah, I experienced that sometime as a drummer, especially just like depends on the particular idiom in which I am participating.
Yeah, the metal band, to go back to that briefly, is that
Yes.
a trio or
No,
quartet?
it's a 4-piece. Yeah, so drums, bass, guitar, vocals.
So just the vocalist.
Each has their own separate personnel that's responsible for each component.
So when the singer takes a breath and the guitarist starts wailing on a solo, there's just the bass holding everything down, and drums and bass. Like,
it's so like this particular like brand of metal is not really like super shreddy, like kind of like Slayer, like that kind of stuff. It's much more like a lot of like power chords and like unison rhythms and stuff like that. There are a couple of like little isolated like bass parts in there, and I don't really, I'm like mentally fast forwarding through the set in my head right now, and I can't think of any like guitar leads specifically. So like they're playing a lot of things in unison, but like there are also like particular parts where like they're split, so to speak, where the bass is obviously like doing one thing and the guitar is doing another. And so they kind of form this composite sort of idea. But no, I don't think there's any particular, I can't think of any particular like lead part or anything like that in the in the set. So yeah.
so oh no, after
well,
you.
I haven't seen Phil in so long.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
You moved to Raleigh.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, he did. So we don't get to hang out and just like talk as much as I would like. Anyway, so would you say that, versus like a jazz or a funk or whatever kind of music that in your particular band, that it's less of a, all right, it's, this person's turn to solo. It's kind of just all parts that are filtering in and out. And nobody's really, not in a negative way, but nobody's really like, kind of like, all right, it's my turn.
Yeah. No, the songs, like, it's for the most part, there's not a whole lot of like creative liberty that goes into it, like you would normally have, like with a jazz gig or like a Shabutica gig or anything like that. It's not, as the jazz heads would call it, like the form is like pretty much the same every gig from one to the other. Like there might be like little parts like in a phrase, like the end of a phrase that I play differently, but as far as like the actual overall like structure of the song, there's not really a whole lot of deviation.
So what would the deviation be from gig to gig? Not that, I feel like jam band guys that look a lot like me all the time, and I'm not a huge jam band dude. Though I look like I showed up for a casting call for jam band fan number 4. Anyway, so the variation between, gig to gig, how would you describe? Is it, a huge variation, or is it like pretty dialed in?
No, it's pretty dialed in.
So as you get used to like, that being dialed in, the small differences. So like, how much does like the band dynamic and how you're feeling that day like play into like that particular set? Like what? I guess my question is, what separates a good set from a bad set in that instance?
Yeah,
the music is kind of the same every time.
Right. That's a good question.
Thanks for doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah, man, I got you. I'm here to talk.
No, that's a really good question. I think a lot of the times, like from my perspective, a lot of the songs kind of follow, like I said, like a very standard sort of like progression, like with how we recorded them is almost exactly like how we play them live, with the exception of maybe like a little bit of tempo variances, like depending on how like hyped we are about things. I used to play with the click, and then I got like really comfortable with like the overall tempo map of like the whole EP, and I don't anymore. So like sometimes we hear I hear recordings of like whenever we're playing, and I'm like, shit, that's really fast. But it just depends.
It's kind of fun though.
It is kind of fun though, because I'm just like I'll definitely notice like particular portions of like there's one song in particular that's like our fast one where it has like a little blast beat in it, and like if we're going and we're at a tempo that's a little bit faster than like where it was recorded, I'm just like when I get to that part I'm like like I definitely can feel it, kind of like can feel myself like maybe tense up just a little bit as far as how that goes. But to answer your original question, I think like most of the variances have to do with like, I know in the guitar part, like there's a few different places where Reese will play like pinch harmonics in one end of a phrase. So like a big, like kind of hardcore, I wouldn't even necessarily say it's specific to hardcore, but something that is in a lot of our songs is like it's like a chugga-dum, 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 chugga-dum. And occasionally, just depending on where it is, he'll chugga-dum, chugga-dum, wah, chugga-dum, chugga-dum, you know what I'm saying? And so there's also in one or like the first or second song, there's like a little drum break where the guitar is just like got kind of like this spooky lead, like right before we go into the bridge or breakdown or whatever. And on the record, it's just like a little small, quiet hi-hat, like kind of fill. But when we play it live, there's a whole like, when we play it live, I play it a little bit differently every time. Cause it's like one of the few places like in the set where I can like definitely say, oh, this is different. You know, this can be a little bit different every time. Hello.
Yes, unfortunately, the cat followed me down. I mean, not unfortunately.
Well, she's not allowed in the studio. But
I'll run her back up.
Okay,
I got it. I'm a cat.
Okay.
I'm a cat guy.
He's a cat guy.
I am gonna trust you with my cute cat Potato. Let's see if he can catch her. And the chase is on.
Oh man, it's such a long song.
Maybe I know we're almost there too. We gave up right at the. So, I think if you're working with technical enough stuff, I mean, my classical guitar gigs that I do, I'm playing the same stuff over and over again. But I guess because it's solo guitar, I can really lean in wherever I want
you have
and
that,
mix it up.
that ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Right? Which is, I mean...
But it's technical enough that even when I'm not to that level, like if I'm, still getting used to a song or something, just doing the technical exercise of the song is enough, like... It's sophisticated enough to keep me interested in what I'm doing. Is that similar for you? Like this metal stuff is so difficult that you're in the moment and you're working with it?
I also think like there... I don't know. I think if I listen to recordings from like gig to gig, I could be like, oh, this was different. Oh, this was different. Oh, this was different.
Yeah,
but
for
like
sure.
on the whole, I think most of the... Because like a lot of the times, like I'll also like kind of like what you're talking about is like the technical aspect of it, and like makes it to... you have to adhere to a certain level of playing those songs the same way, because if you don't, like if you deviate it from it too much, like it'll like it makes it difficult to follow like where you are in the song, for me anyway. So if I like am trying to add too much extra ghost notes, or like if I'm trying to put in fills like where I previously haven't put in fills before, like it makes it feel like a different song. And also like something that I really like about the guitarist in that band, Reese, is that he is kind of a tried and true like demos kind of guy, which means that like how he programmed something and how he like recorded the demo for it is like how he wants the song to like sound, like without very much deviation. Like, and it's a good thing on the one hand that there's a lot of structure and it's like super clear like what direction the song is going. But on the other hand, like if I like mess something up, or if like there's something that's out of place that he's never heard before, it perks his ear a little bit. And so like not that that's a bad thing again, but just like it can definitely, he can like on multiple occasions he's come up to me after shows and be like, hey, did you do this one thing here? And like I was just like, oh yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, I did actually. And he's like, okay, cool. I thought so. I thought I heard it. And that's like, that's all it goes to. It's not like you shouldn't have done that, like kind of thing. It's just like, it's something that he picks up on.
And that can be the best and worst quality, I think, maybe in a bandmate. Well,
I think
it all depends on, I guess, how they bring
Right.
it up. But like,
right. I think it's a good quality
show,
in Reese
yeah,
personally.
that he is just listening 100% of the time, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So even though we have like this really strict like sort of song form and song like format,
does he ever reply like, "Oh, I liked that. You should do that more"?
a couple of there have been a few things like where I've like thrown something in like kind of just like as just like this could be good here. Like if I've played the song, like if we played a lot of gigs like back to back to back, and I'm like, okay, this is like my third week in a row playing this song for the fourth time, you know what I mean, or whatever. I'm thinking about where different things could go, like where new additions could go to like keep it interesting. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And so like occasionally he'll be like, yeah, I really like what you put in there. And then other times he was just like, hey, I think I like the original like a little bit better. And I'm just like, okay, cool. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So
you got to be open to constructive criticism.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
So Reed, tell me about how you gave it to the bass player after this show. You were like, you're not an organ player.
Never. No. It's.
Why don't you go get an organ?
Yeah. Why aren't you not a bass player? No. It was
Connor Law.
Connor Law, who was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a good
former
dude.
roommate, long time buddy. Yeah. No, we play very well together. That's why. When I didn't have an organ player for the gig, I was just like, well, I'll just see if Connor will fill in, and he was happy enough to oblige me.
Very versatile player.
Yeah,
and so
very
I'm sure
much
he
so.
filled up the space as much as a bass player can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're playing guitar with this trio that's typically an organist. So you're not singing, right?
No.
So do you have all these melodies written out in song forms that then you adapted?
I don't have them written out because, oh man.
You have charts for them though, right?
Oh, I have charts, but like they're more so just chord charts. And for some of them, I have melodies written out. I think, and this is something, for me to work on, where I feel like, I play a melody slightly different every time. So when I sit down to actually chart out the rhythm for the melody, I keep going back and forth. And what should take 10 minutes takes, 4 hours or whatever.
Decision paralysis.
Yeah. It really can. And so it's gotten to the point now where I'm just like, all right, well, if I can just get the chords down, and then I've started to go back and add the melodies to it. But yeah, really. And for the stuff I'm doing, I'm not doing anything overly complicated or too unfamiliar that, yeah.
But you have known melodies and a series of them. How long was the set? Like, how many of these tunes do you have? And they are somewhat jammy, but you said you're not a jam band guy, so they're jazzy.
Well, but I play jazz, which is
It's glorified jam band.
Intellectual excuse for jam band.
Intellectual glorified jam band.
Exactly.
That's really.
I have a degree in
I've never really
jam
thought about that
band
before.
Studies and contemporary music.
That's funny.
Jam bands are the degradation of jazz. Yeah, the dissolution.
Well, jam bands are just jazz plus white people plus acid. Happy Bicycle Day, by the way, everybody.
Is it Bicycle Day?
It is.
Is that a Huxley thing?
Yeah.
Okay, word.
Yeah, the first acid trip on 4/19. Anyway, so yeah, as far as the number of melodies, so the interesting thing is, I sort of set out with the intention of just like, all right, I want to do pop tunes and, rock tunes that people recognize, but sort of, jazz them up and play them instrumentally, which, people have been doing for forever. It's not a particularly new idea, but, I just wanted to pick, like, songs that I wanted to play and melodies I wanted to hear and things like that. Mm-hmm. And luckily for me, I teamed up with Damon McLochick, who got me started playing funk music a long time ago. But it was just to really have somebody to like practice with, and then we decided like, all right, let's go for the organ trio thing. And so we brought Taylor on board, and he had a ton of tunes that he was like, oh yeah, I've wanted to do, a lot of.
Let's hear a bunch. What?
Oh yeah,
tunes are on the,
Lonnie. Well,
give me a bunch of
he's
the-
really into those Lonnie Smith tunes. Witch Doctor, Zimbabwe. A lot of things off of that. What's the name of it? I can't remember. Of course, I can't remember. But then like just turning me on to different organ players that I wouldn't listen to otherwise. But then I wanted to do a lot of Grant Green stuff.
Yeah, fun.
Grant Green has that Live at Mozambique album, which I pulled a couple tunes off of that album for the set tonight, even.
I just think guitar octaves when I think of Grant Green. Just
and
that's all over the place.
That's been a big thing for me, is just like working on practicing my scales in octaves. Like,
oh yeah,
because we're so used to being able to do da da da. All right, shift here, but like every note is essentially a shift, like a position shift a lot of the time, or finding different ways that you want to think about scales or licks and things like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't get it.
No, you're absolutely correct.
But no, it's like you
I'm just kidding.
think about your crossings and whatnot.
Yeah, I think about
Oh,
stickings
how
and stuff.
top-
Yeah, stickings
So,
and orchestrations
Are
and
you-
things like that.
Primarily closed, I bet, or are you open when you're?
I play closed-handed. Yeah, I can play open-handed if the occasion calls for it, or if I'm feeling like particularly adventurous.
But that's not like a crossing thing where like a particular moment in a song might not have you open up for a second, or like does that ever happen where you have to play to switch to accomplish a particular?
Not necessarily, no,
task?
because I think most of the time whenever I like am going through, and if I'm like writing a particular part, I'm gonna make it as idiomatic as possible, because like I don't want. I'm lazy. I don't want to create extra work for myself. Like if I want to learn something hard, it's usually like something someone else has already like come up with or recorded or something like that. But no, when it comes to like writing my own parts, like I think about like the Shibuya like record writing process a lot, and just like how that all kind of panned out as far as like drum parts, because like I wrote everything for that, like for the drum parts anyway, for that whole record basically. As far as like the actual, like when I sat down to record that record, like what it sounded like, that was like pretty much my entire like brainchild. Like, cause like obviously like we had like feels and like the song structures brought to the table, but as far as like what the actual drum parts sounded like, that was like all up here, I guess. And for me, like I said, I definitely found myself like doing things that made sense to me, but I don't know, I guess in retrospect I think listening back to it sometimes I'm just like, that was a little silly. that was a little dumb, but I didn't
think that's what everybody thinks when they listen
Yeah,
to
I mean,
anything
like,
they've done.
Yeah, but I mean it just, I don't know, I definitely don't,
You have regrets.
I don't not necessarily, I just didn't make it like harder than it needed to be, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, that's a classic like word of advice, the KISS method.
Yeah, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Favorite, classic.
Yeah, I do the opposite constantly. I write something that's too hard.
Yeah.
I've played it once and then I immediately forget
It's
it.
like,
'cause
well, I
it's-
did it one time, so I have to be able to do it again. Whereas, yeah, I mean, the simpler stuff always works.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It
Like octaves.
It works. It gets to the point where if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it's like, I'm so bored of this. But at the same time, it's like, but it works. The blues scale, oh man, it just
works.
Does what you need it to do.
Yeah, the farther away from the pentatonic scale you get, the more you need to just go back.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. You could use different pentatonic scales. That's
There you
where
go.
it's at. Take the simple thing and then put it in weird places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Simplifying, or I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. Taking different chords and being like, oh, this pentatonic scale works over this one chord in this situation. You can logic yourself into thinking that a pentatonic scale is complicated if you pick the right one.
Right. That Egyptian suspended.
Of course.
That's the one. Yeah.
It's
the Egyptian
it's
suspended
E minor
mode.
pentatonic, but in B flat. Ooh.
Oh yeah, why?
Why?
Whoa.
Why did you do
Tritone
that?
subs. So when you lacked the organist, did you do any like chord melody stuff? Did you fill out the sound a little bit more for the melodies?
Well, and that's sort of the thing with that is that when me and the drummer were first jamming, I was doing more chord melody stuff, and so definitely brought that with me when I did the trio thing. But I also do it with the organ, and it just sort of, I think, just because an organist can fill that space, finding one that, is willing to give you some of that space back a little bit
Doesn't mean
to
you
play.
should.
Exactly.
Just because you
Exactly.
could doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
I find it somewhat difficult to play with keyboardists. Of
Yeah,
any kind.
'cause,
with
well,
guitar,
Yeah.
the
also,
ranges really rub.
but if, the organist has to play the bass as well, they have something to keep themselves preoccupied with. So that
Right.
way, like, they have very, simple harmonies up top, and then you can, fill it out with more melody and soloing and things like that. But, yeah, and that's been the thing lately is just sort of, I think as a guitarist, it's again of a thing of we can, does that mean we should? Where you always have the option of playing, more than one note or playing, octaves or whatever. But to just play that single note melody in a arrangement that's kind of sparse like that, you have to be able to.
What's going on over there?
What you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
You
I'm just
dropping
sitting
stuff?
here.
Oh my!
Is my studio falling apart?
No, I don't
because I
think so.
believe that.
No, it's we're fine.
My roof fell apart. I went on
Oh.
this trip
Yeah,
to
we saw.
Japan, and I came.
Or I saw
Oh my
actually.
God.
You mentioned it, and then I hadn't seen it, and then I had to go back out to the car to get something, and I was like, oh yeah, shit, his
my
his
the
roofs-
roof over my
his
head.
roof.
Yeah, it's just I
just
came
gone.
back to shingles just all over my yard.
the roof
Yeah,
was
the roof. Gonna tarp it tomorrow. It's real fun.
Oh god.
It's gonna be a great time.
It's gonna be so awesome. Nothing musical about that.
Ooh.
Just
And
Tough
you
work.
don't rent, do you?
I do not know. It's
Oh,
on me.
dang.
You
It's
can't
there's
call a
nobody to
landlord.
call. It's me. I tried calling myself, and then I didn't. I sort of had an attitude about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oy.
Guy was super
So-
rude.
Yeah. It's
That
very
sucks.
critical of me.
He asked me why I let the roof get in such bad shape.
Right. Yeah. So, why did I bring that up? Falling apart studio. Oh, you playing chord melodies.
Chord melodies like the roof that's falling off of your house.
Oh, being a musician, yeah. So much of it. I mean, we all want to be better, and we spend a lot of time practicing and refining, or teaching, or studying, or recording a whole album
Or
together.
self-loathing.
Or,
Yeah.
spend time hating yourself. Yes, or
Good bit of that.
right, listening to your old stuff that you
Yeah.
recorded and thinking, oh, that was silly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
really just showing up and doing the job in a simple way, like just
Yeah.
putting in the time.
Yeah, I definitely remember, like, I have very vivid memory of, like, one time playing a gig that was, like, it was, like, multiple shows. I don't want to go into too much detail about it because it'll give away, like, what it was and who it was with. But, but there was definitely a time where it was, like, multiple shows, like, back to back to back over several days. And I remember when I had the opportunity to work with this particular person again, they were like, no, we already got somebody. And I was like, okay, is there something I can do to, like, potentially keep my hat in that, like, proverbial ring? And they were just like,
that's a tough question to ask. To
Yeah.
put yourself out there and say, like, well, just curious.
yeah,
is there
yeah.
anything-
And I was just like, is there anything I can do to keep my hat in the ring, so to speak? And they were just like, yeah, so, the last time that you played, like, we had some issues with, like, volume control, and, like, you didn't really, there were some embellishments on the chart. You didn't really play the ink the way that you were supposed to. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can get that. And so now I always, like, anytime I have a gig that, like, provides charts, I always, like, try and stick to those as, like, faithfully and as close to as possible. Unless it says, like, specifically, like, ad lib, I don't really do that anymore. And so, and granted, that was several years ago. So, like, it's kind of one of the fun things about growing as a person and also a musician. Like you can definitely like look back on some of those experiences and be like, dang, I wish I hadn't done that because then I would have gotten more gigs. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
You're still beating yourself up about it.
No. I don't still beat myself up about it. I laugh about it now actually because I was just like, you know, and as I'm talking about it now, I'm like, damn, yeah, he was right. So
Yeah. Yeah, if you're getting charts, somebody wrote that
specifically
for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, if I wrote a chart for a song and then the drummer was just whiling out.
It wasn't like the type of thing like I was whiling out. I think it was just like a little embellishments here and there. I like to put my own spin on things, and that was not the occasion in which it needed to have a different spin put on it. So
was this a symphony gig?
No.
Okay, good.
No. It was not a symphony.
Not a
gig.
symphony Amo gig sitting in for that band. Or the Amo Symphony. You guys heard that band?
No. What's that?
It's like gent, but like future gent.
Whoa.
Like yeah. Like trance gent.
Did
They're out there.
I didn't think that was a thing. Like that doesn't sound like something that could exist. You know.
The Algorithm is another.
Oh, dude, I love the Algorithm. Actually,
They're
the Algorithm.
trans-
The
such a good name for
The Algorithm. They are sick. Their drummer, his name is Mike Mallion. He did the recording for this other metal band called Monuments on their most recent record that came out last year, and that is a really dope record.
But the Algorithm would break down into these little trance sections, sort of like
Yeah.
the opposite of
I guess I could see that. I guess I've never really thought about it as like being trance.
I'm not going to get to the song I was trying to reference.
That's okay.
That's
I lost
okay.
it.
It'll be there.
Yeah, like it's sort of a country song that then goes into like a dance thing. Do you have any? You gonna help me out
Friends
with
in
this?
low places, or
That one doesn't have the trance part.
does that not have a trance part? I mean, I'm definitely in a trance whenever I hear.
Yeah.
1 3 1
Yeah.
3 1 3.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it sometimes.
Now, what country song goes into it?
I have no idea.
Oh man,
It's gonna kill me.
I don't listen to country music.
If only we had a Google in front of us.
Yeah,
I
so my
know.
metal band.
So your metal band. Right?
Tell me about that while I'm. Yeah, you guys talk
Yeah.
about something
Oh, no,
while I
it's-
figure this out.
Wait, what country song does make the best trance music? That's a very interesting question.
YouTube recommendations, man.
Of Avicini. Avicini is the guy's name?
I don't believe I've heard this song.
You do not know what that is.
This guy
Oh,
did Wake
man.
Me Up.
Oh, Avicii.
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 Wake Me Up. Do you know this song?
You know he's dead, right?
He died.
Yeah, he died.
R.I.P.
Rest in pepperoni.
Rest in That's better than Rest in Power.
Avicii.
Yeah, it's like a country song. He's like, and then eventually,
Oh, yeah.
it goes into like this, like,
You've heard this, Reed.
Yeah, probably.
yeah,
Oh, she's leaving. Oh no, it's sad. But she's got a saddle.
and it's techno time.
Yeah,
And
I
she's
don't.
riding a horse through a vineyard.
Did I hear
very
this for
techno.
an ABC show or something like
Probably.
Yeah,
That's
I've
what it feels
played it
like.
at weddings.
that? I don't like that sound.
Dirty
I don't-
Loops does a
I don't
really
know what it
sick
is.
cover of that song.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Most recent Dirty Loops record with Corey Wong.
Oh yeah.
Strong recommend.
Good times.
hmm
Good times.
Strong recommend. There's a cover of Thriller on there, but it's like this like really fat like 12/8 shuffle. Dude, so sick.
Okay, nice.
So rad.
I was just watching an interview with Childish Gambino.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was talking about how This Is America. They
Mhm.
really tried to base that music video on the Thriller video. And they were
Oh, really?
watching that
Interesting.
over and over.
Uh-huh.
again.
Huh.
Yeah,
I can
That
see
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes complete sense.
That tracks.
I think he does a couple of the moves.
Yeah.
Probably.
but
It
looking all
kinda is.
freaked out and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's tweaked out because this is America.
yeah, This Is America.
Reminds me of that video of James Brown where he's like, I'm living in America. There's nothing wrong.
Have you seen
This is
the
America.
video that he did with Marilyn Manson? And
No.
James
Who?
Brown.
Oh my god.
I think
What?
James Brown is the devil,
Fantastic.
or Marilyn Manson's the devil.
Dang.
And I think it's James Brown.
I'll
is
have
the
to.
devil.
I'll have
It's
to look
pretty
that
cool.
up. I'll have to look
Yeah.
that up. That sounds really cool.
That
Sounds like something I'd be into or interested in.
definitely. Although I think
YouTube
Marilyn
rabbit
Manson
holes.
is canceled now, so.
Oh.
might need to
Oh
edit
yeah,
that
that's right.
out.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because
Yep.
he
Yep. 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 Yep.
was bad.
He was bad.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, we should have seen it coming.
Took his rib out and just.
I think it was
that's what
like-
a
I
bad
think
guy
it-
does.
think
a
it had to-
bad guy
that rumor.
takes his own rib out.
I think it had to do
Too
with
much
like.
pleasure.
I think it was like domestic violence allegations. I don't remember.
I think so.
I haven't listened to any of his music in a long time.
So, what's a celebrity that would be
Ooh.
hardest for you to believe was canceled? Like,
Oh, that's a good question.
Morgan Freeman.
like,
Morgan.
like you found
Morgan
found out.
Freeman.
That's good. We're allowed to do
I'm
Morgan Freeman's
Morgan Freeman.
because it's very specific.
It's a specific. That's really the only rule. Is if it's a specific person, then you can do it.
Now I'm second guessing it.
Well, it's your podcast,
That's-
so
yeah.
you're putting this out, so you have to.
I was gonna say me. I'm a celebrity that would be hard to cancel, but now I'm second guessing that too.
Well, it
That's,
depends on who you
yeah.
ask.
yeah. What do you think? Could I get canceled? You guys? Okay, never
I
mind.
certainly
Let's move
hope
on.
not.
Well, I
No.
hope not.
No, let's move past that.
Yeah, that feels depressing.
Paul F. Tompkins, maybe.
Yeah. Aw. Paul F. Tompkins was actually mean to all those dogs he took pictures of. He said, "I don't like you." And it was really sad.
What about you? You got somebody?
I said Morgan Freeman.
Not
Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
The other you.
Yeah, Phil. Come on. The other you.
Jeez.
Who did
Keanu Reeves.
Don't Worry, Be Happy? Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, because he's like
no, Bobby
he's like
McFerrin's definitely like.
Keanu Reeves because
He
he's
was
like a documented nice guy.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta watch
Verifiable
out
nice
for the
guy.
documented nice guys because you're like, did you pay that person to say that? I bet you did.
Somebody's gonna kill his dog on accident. He's gonna go on a rampage.
I still haven't seen any of those
Then
movies.
I haven't
They're
either.
gonna make 3 more.
I've heard they're like a ballet of violence.
I've heard they're very well done. Yeah, it's cool. I can't look down on it. I bet I would be there and be like, whoa. So I can't say anything.
I bet somebody who's not into violence might think about it. They might say, "This is John Ick."
more like John Ick.
More like John. Ew.
John, ew. John, no thanks.
No, John. We'll get you. No, we don't want it.
John. No, I'm good.
John, nah.
I'm good.
But Reed, you don't have anybody who is uncancelable.
Who is? I guess
Jesus.
Meryl Streep. If we found out, because it used to be Ellen DeGeneres. It was like
And then
Ellen
and then
DeGeneres
Ellen
is
got
mean. It's like,
canceled.
yeah. It's like,
Ellen
man,
got canceled. Yeah.
I don't know anything.
I went to high school with a girl that was on her show. Her family won a car.
Sick. Did
kinda
they have
wild.
to pay taxes on it though? Because
I
sometimes
don't
you
know.
get trapped in that way.
I do not know.
Like I think they
I
gave
just
out.
know that that's something that happened.
I think this could be apocryphal, but I heard that like on Oprah's show, one of her shows, she handed out cars to everybody in the
Yeah.
audience, but then they had to pay taxes on them. So a lot
Rip.
of people in the audience had to like go into debt to take this car.
Yeah, that's
Jeez.
the way
Yeah.
it goes.
This is America.
Is a car more valuable if Oprah gave it to you?
Right. Can you sell this car? as,
Like
a
I can sell
collectible?
it as exactly to get out of that debt.
When I went to Japan, I went to like the Pokemon store and the Nintendo store, and that certainly felt like, is this stuff? Why do I want this stuff? I still
I
bought
do.
some of the stuff. I
What did
do
you get?
want
Hey,
it.
man.
What'd you get?
I got like some coin purses because I'll use those that are like a
Guitar
For
picks.
all the times
For
you're
guitar-
carrying
guitar picks.
Definitely.
coins out and about in the city.
right? Yeah, coins. They're like $5 coins and stuff, or like $50 coins over there. But 50, probably not. Probably $5 coins.
That
But
would make more sense.
I got some little locks like for my suitcase. That one that looks like a Gengar, or that
Classic.
one Pokemon, and a Snorlax.
That's nice.
I got a Snorlax
That's a good
stuffed
one.
animal for my cat to snuggle.
Oh,
That's good.
Yeah, it's very it's very cute.
No.
She was really cute. I got Zelda socks.
That's
Tight.
You have to.
That was great. Yeah, that was a good investment. And a Zelda pencil holder that sort of looks like a small wallet. Like the from
Like
the
the-
Zelda,
okay,
the Legend
yeah.
of Zelda. They had bigger wallets, but I didn't feel
Did
like
they have an adult wallet?
they had 3 sizes of wallets.
The Giants wallet.
The Giants, yeah.
Yeah.
The Goron wallet?
Oh, I don't know.
Sam,
Are there
have
4
you-
sizes?
I don't
Have
know.
I ever played
don't
Zelda?
know.
Have you ever?
I haven't played Zelda. I've been faking this whole time.
Really?
No, I have.
Oh, okay. I was about to
can't
say,
wait for
Which
the next
ones?
one.
Which ones?
Every single one except for the newest one that's not out yet.
Tears of the Kingdom.
I haven't played 2 or that one that was like a CD-ROM or whatever that was like a DVD that you had to play.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one.
But yeah, I'm huge into Zelda.
Gonna go look up
Which
the
one is the best?
Gonna go look up the Wikipedia chronology on the Legend of Zelda games now.
Yes, you should. I don't know if those 2 that I said I haven't played are very important. I obviously feel that way though because
Well, you wouldn't have brought them
confirmation
up.
bias. Yeah, right. I love, Ocarina of Time is undoubtedly the most influential and, popular. Wind Waker has a charm that I really love. Majora's Mask gets a lot of love because it's kind of dark.
I like Majora's Mask a lot. It's
Yeah.
very spooky.
Yeah, I like the spooky element of
It's
that.
hard.
It is very hard.
It's hard.
It's
And
hard. Yeah, you got to execute some jumps.
I can't beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really like the Wind Waker soundtrack. The soundtrack in Wind Waker was really good.
Definitely.
How did you feel about
But-
the switch from playing an instrument to conducting? Hot takes
Wind Waker is
from this
cool.
game from literally like 19 years ago.
I think it's like 2003.
Yeah, so
2000
20 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all
20
right.
years ago,
Good.
okay.
Good to know.
The mechanics are the same, and it doesn't really make that big of a difference.
Yeah, you sort of summon music, which is cool. I didn't like riding the boat for so long, though.
Yeah.
That took a lot of time. And that's the biggest challenge of these games. I think the forthcoming game, who's got the time to play the new Zelda game? Like, I might,
So many hours.
that's one reason I might quit doing this live stream. Because I gotta
Because I
find
need to
time
commit the time
to play this new
to
Zelda game.
fully exploring the Zelda game.
The new Zelda universe. We are about to quit this segment of the live stream.
I was
Do you
about to
guys
say,
have
yeah.
any, we are over time. We were behind schedule.
That's
but
okay.
now
That's fair.
We're going to take a quick break while Reid sets up. And we also all... I noticed that you took the splash and the China off the drum set. Do
Yes.
you play metal but without... Do you have the splash and the China?
I do have a splash and I do have a China, but they are in different places on the kit. So
Okay.
plus also, I don't want to mess with your cymbals.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I brought my own.
kind.
He's a sweet guy.
Your
Yeah.
cymbals are much better.
Well, no. It has nothing to do with quality. It's just like, I don't want to have to I don't want to mess with your stuff for the most part.
I appreciate
Other than the really big pieces like the kick and the floor tom and the rack tom, that's a little different. But I'll bring my own snare drum. I'll bring my own
You
cymbals.
messed with my kick?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna mess with it here though when we
Yeah.
jam in just a few minutes.
Yeah,
We
no,
come
no,
back
no,
from this
no.
break.
No, as in I don't want to wreck your cymbals. They're called breakables in the drum set world. So if you're ever backlining stuff, you say, yeah, man, I'm down to backline shells. Just bring your own breakables, which is snare drum, sticks, cymbals.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that. See,
Yeah.
this is the thing I'm learning.
More you
in
know.
This episode.
Yeah, DIY hardcore stuff. Except not necessarily DIY. Backlining is a pretty standard practice as far as gigging goes. Anyways, what were we
Doesn't
gonna
have
say?
to be HXC.
Yeah, correct.
I love saying HXC.
For hardcore, straight edge,
Yeah.
baby.
Do you have anything to teach me before we end this segment?
No, I don't. I really don't. I got nothing.
You're teaching me to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honesty,
That's good.
it really works out.
You kept it simple. In
Keep
that
it
moment,
simple,
you're
stupid.
like, I don't. So you just told the truth.
There you go.
I appreciate you.
I
You're
mean,
gonna
I
live
could
by
bullshit.
example.
I mean, we're stretching time. This is a valuable lesson.
We're stretching time even though we're over time.
Exactly. It's a valuable lesson.
I'm gonna put my foot down on that one.
Okay, let's move on. All right, thanks for tuning in. This was Asheville 8 Note. I'm Sam Irvin. We are going to take a quick break and be right back. This was Reid Parler, and Phil Treutel has already left.
He's gone.
All right.
He's over there.
It's over there. half beat, and everything will line up eventually. We're all make our way there. That's okay. We got somewhere. That's for sure. Moon dance, yeah. What was that? Paper. Weird half. I'm holding a pig. Right. Huh? You want a what? I was holding a pig, so that's what my paper was weird. Well, you beat my scissors with your rock.
Thank you.